Yes. Just let me know when I'm a go and I can talk. Brilliant. Excellent.
I have shared my slides. I have shared my slides. I have shared my slides. I have shared my slides.
Can't hear. Oh.
Amanda, do you want to just put me on and I'll start acknowledging people? Yeah.
Miss Hayley.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Yama, kia ora, ninamane. Welcome to Connecting Culture, Law to Law. Sorry for any technical difficulties we have been experiencing earlier. We're very fortunate to still have some wonderful speakers coming up next. I just wanted to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands that we meet on and that you're meeting on today, the Māori people, and I'm here on Kaurna land in Adelaide in Australia. I also want to pay my respects to my elders. I'm a Gamilaroi woman, and to the elders of your peoples and your lands, past, present, and emerging. So I'll start off by introducing the session, which is called Heretaunga Ararau, and that's my very poor pronunciation. We've got Horne, Fletcher, and Lawrence Ereatara presenting today, and hopefully they'll pronounce things a little bit better than myself. And so I hope you all enjoy the session. We will have a couple of minutes for questions and answers at the end, so send those through and we'll do our best to get to those. So thank you again for your patience, and I'll hand over now to Horne.
Kia ora mai tātou whānau. Kia koutou ki a koe a Michelle, tino ni te mihi ki a koe me o koutou tūpuna me tō whenua. Greetings to your ancestors and to your land, and kāne a koe hake te mihi ki a mātou, and for your mihi and your greetings to us. Thank you so much. It really is a pleasure to be here, whānau, and ko waio, who am I first? My name is Horne Fletcher, John Fletcher, and I'm a Principal Advisor for Cultural Practice, working for Ararau Aotearoa Department of Career. My people are from Ngāpuhi and Ngāti Kahu, right at the top of the North Island Te Ika a Māui. Introduce yourself.
Kia ora, ko Lawrence Ereatara taka ingoa. So on my father's side, I whakapapa to Waimarama, one of the beaches here on the east. My mother's side, I whakapapa to Ngai Tūhoi, which is up in the Ereatara National Park, largest national park here in the North Island. So my role is Principal Advisor Custodial. My big uniformed officer.
So we're both here at Hawke's Bay Regional Prison, and I just want to introduce you to our Ngāti Kahungunu Princess.
Kia ora tātou, ko Tatiana Greening tōku ingoa, he mokopuna tēnei o Ngāti Kahungunu, Ngāti Kauwhata, Tainui Tūwharetoa. Kia ora, I just introduced myself as being a local girl from Hawke's Bay, from Fielding, and up in the Waikato Tainui region. Kia ora, everybody.
So Kānu te mihi, I told her she wasn't coming on, but I told a little bit of a fib. Whānau, with something, this is a karakia or a prayer that the Tohunga Ruawharo stated when he landed here in Aotearoa from Hawaii Nui. It goes like this. Tēnei o, ko te hokai, i tapu tapu wai. Ko te hokai, ko te hokai, ko te hokai, a tō tifuna, a tā tēnei araki. Ki wikiti ai, ki ngā rangi tūhaha, ki te tihi o manono. Io kohina tila, ko io matokore atake. Anga kete o te wānanga, ko te kete tuaru, ko te kete tuatea, ko te kete aruni. Ka tinitia, ka whaupaua, ki a papa tuanuku. Ka pute te ira tangata ki te whaia, ki te marama. That karakia, or the incantation, speaks of Tāne Mahuta's journey, one of our Māori gods from our creation stories, as he ascended up to the very heights of the heavens to retrieve from the greatest power the baskets of knowledge From there, he took the baskets of knowledge to implant into Mother Earth, Papa Tuanuku, so that man could be created and come into the light of day. And it talks about our journey from light, darkness into light, from not knowing into understanding. And so these are the cultural narratives that we are bringing back to life in our prison setting, which is a really big deal for us. I'd like to share something that we're helping to bring to life. You are using our cultural narratives, our creation stories, to lead us in a way of interacting with our men here. This is a men's prison we work in, and with their whānau in the community. So, Amanda, can we bring on the whānau Manaaki plan? Thank you. So whānau Manaaki plans, these are based on a holistic approach to Tāne, men, and his family wellness. So we're just going to go through this. In our prison at the moment, we're prototyping on kaupapa Māori pathways, a pathway that now talks about our men's aspirations rather than being stuck in a deficit, punitive, criminogenic approach to their journey through our justice system here. Now, this is only in prototype, it is early days, but we're just going to go through one of the main things of what that means. We begin with a whānau's whakapapa. Who are they? Where do they come from? And that isn't done just randomly to say, hello, how are you? I'm John. Let's sit down and talk about your problems. It's actually about setting a deliberate way to engage with our people, our families that we're working with, to bring their aspirations. But in order to do that, we need a relationship first. You need to sit down and see who our common ancestors are, the common people or places in our lives. By sitting down first and foremost and establishing that precedent, we are then able to start having more meaningful dialogue. Oh, my waka is the same as yours. Oh, my marae, I've got my great-grandmother comes from there. Now imagine that as a practitioner, being able to sit down and share commonality. Anything from you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it with a lot of the men that we work with over the years, them institutionalized, so they're grown up within the system itself. So a lot of the work that we're doing is reconnect them back with their culture and with their identity. Absolutely.
Cultural attachment is a huge part of this mahi. So this first page is probably, for me, the overall approach to engaging our whānau and letting them be vulnerable. As we know, the effects of their lives have caused barriers to be put up. So in the first instance, to address that through mihi, the greetings, the karakia, the prayers, to make it a safe place, through establishing a whakapapa, who are you, where do you come from, to whanaungatanga, to all the relationships that are shared. Page 2 is, and I'm just ripping through these, knowing our time is short, I guess is our assessment process. Now, these are self-assessed by our whānau. They go from a 1 to a 7, 1 being needing the most help, 7 being not needing much help, and things are going really well. And we can look at those as protective factors as well. Whilst these are self-identified, it starts the conversation about our family being able to actually have some leadership and self-determination in the pathway of their journey through the justice sector for the first time in their lives, that we aspirations, and still through their own aspirations they're able to mitigate and manage risk themselves. Because if they've got a 1 there, for example, 1 being them needing the most help, say for whānau, well, what does that mean? He says, well, basically I did something wrong to my family and I need some kind of resolution. What's it going to look like? So it could be that. If we're looking at mātauranga or education or Māori worldview, te ao Māori, they might want to learn more about reo or karakia to help this process. So it's whatever they determine. We still have the legalities that are still need to be addressed, but first and foremost now, these are self to help them achieve those, to be able to also look at some of the, I guess, historical issues, criminogenic issues that have landed them in trouble. And most of them actually we find can relate to this assessment. And it is theirs, and it's for us then that leads the way forward as to what issues are being discussed, rather than us oftentimes in a Crown agency or approach, it becomes a tick box exercise process rather than by need or what is important to the people. We create these opportunities for wellness to occur. At the bottom of each page, so I'll just go back, is also a whakatauki or a proverb, and you'll see the one on the bottom that says kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui. Be brave, be strong, be steadfast. That also gives us cultural cues to have conversations, to be able to lead out with our whānau. So rather than what is traditionally wave your finger and you will do this, you will do that, actually we're now using cultural imperatives, narratives to begin the conversations, to create trust, to create vulnerability in the people, that our people. And it becomes more tika important, more true and honest in terms of the work. Is the priority. So then these are listed out from the page we've just seen, page 2. And so for whānau, it might be restoration that they've put in there. For whānau, it might be seeing their children. So it's whatever their priorities are according to them that they'd like to approach. So just making sure we're getting the details. Have to say at this stage too that the paperwork is only a capture of the kōrero, of the talk that our tāne and whānau are saying. The most important thing, the biggest priority, is creating an environment to create conversation, a safe place for this to come out. And usually a skilled practitioner in these whānau manaaki plans can, in an hour, actually cover off all the whakapapa, who they are, where they come from, the relationships, identifying what are the areas in their life they'd like to look at. And thirdly, what does it look like when we start to knuckle down on those for them? Again, this is led by the tāne and whānau. And then, if there are other legal issues that are coming up, they usually come under these issues once they've been able to start sharing and feeling safe to share. Page 4 talks about nāku te raudo, nāu he raudo, ka ora ai te iwi. With your basket and my basket, the people will thrive. So this is where we can say, okay, this is what you want, and make sure I'm getting it right. This is what we have to do to prepare you for parole board. And we can start using the story of the separation, how some of the siblings attacked Tāne. As we sung that song telling of Tāne's ascent and descent, he was attacked by brothers who didn't want him to go through. And how do we line that up with our Tāne and their whānau's own journeys and struggles and conflicts that they have? If they're feeling angry, that the precedents have been set in those pūrākau that we speak about. The goals are made, actions are identified, timelines are agreed, support people are initiated, systems and processes are then led by the facilitator to enable access, remove any barriers, and also to take responsibility as the lead facilitator to achieving the tasks. Because as we know, we don't want 10 cars up a driveway. The less up there, the better. The more self-determination that a whānau has, the better. 1 minute. Woo! We're ripping through. And then finally, the Manaaki team, my support people. Who are all the people involved in this? Who's the lead support for the whānau Manaaki plan? The whānau support, the case manager, the case officers, and identifying the key people and relationships there to be able to upbeat this plan, knowing that at all times that this plan belongs to the tāne and for them to drive. So whether they're doing a 5-day, 5-week, 5-month, 5-year, 15-year sentence, they still have a sense of direction and autonomy and self-determination. A quick song, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the efforts of those that have gone before us, and that's what this song speaks about. te peki kojaku wa ino atu la oh kuarere atu na koe pinara ni na ki ora iki o tui pe oh mai o moke moke ai i te po i te po no reire te whana tino ni te mihi kia koutou tēnā koutou mauri ora tātou katoa.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Mornay and Lawrence, and your beautiful Princess Queen who joined us at the beginning. Really insightful and really important work that you're carrying out there. Similar situation here in Australia with our Indigenous peoples incarcerated. So I'm General Manager of Community Youth Justice here, and I think we could learn a lot from the approach you're taking in New Zealand across the waters. We do have a question here that's come through. So does the action plan link directly to areas the parole board will be considering when considering granting parole or not? That's a really great question.
Yeah, great question. So we're also currently working with parole board to educate the current approach, so it's not just based on risk and criminogenic approaches, so that they're able to see where they've come from, where they are now, but where they need to go. So we're co-designing the process with iwi, with the parole board, to allow that to happen. But yes, our case managers actually attend the parole board, so they can give context to this way of being to the panel, to the parole board themselves. They do take it on board. And we've got a higher level of release because of it.
Excellent response, but great question as well. I have a bit of a follow-up question, I guess, from that. We're exploring assessments that are culturally not biased here for our young people. Do you use assessments in your process of case management and planning, or is it all through relationship building?
No, we do have a criteria for our young ones here, because here in Aotearoa, the majority of recidivist and reoffending is 30 years under Māori. So that's our criteria. Be 30 years and under, be Māori, hopefully be from here as an iwi initiative as well, in partnership with iwi, so we can wrap around the community supports with you and your whānau, you for reintegration, your whānau, whilst you're learning and getting the help that you need. So that was co-designed purposefully with our tāne, with the whānau, with iwi, and that seems to be the assessment criteria that was formulated, and that's how we do it.
Beautiful. Okay, we don't have many more questions coming through. Lots of comments. It's beautiful. Singing and guitar. Kia ora.
Cool.
Lots of people jumping in after the initial technical issues, so that's great to hear.
Nice.
So any final comments or anything, any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
I guess, yeah, it is about, for us, this pathway, a family's own self-determination, their own autonomy, and what a better future can look like for them. And it's our responsibility to help facilitate or create those opportunities to occur. We believe in this. We've been doing it now for 3 years, prototyping it here at Hawke's Bay Regional Prison. We are still in prototype phase. But if anybody wants to get hold of us, Fletcher, Lawrence Ereatara, Hawke's Bay Regional Prison, we're happy to talk to anyone.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And enjoy your day, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Kia ora tātou, ka kite.